Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH the Flame Emperor episode number 224 based on novel. So let's start. Ghost Moon Well can still help us advance to Do Immortal. And Xiao Yan couldn't help being shocked after hearing Qing's writing. No matter what, Xiao Yan just wanted to take a look at the magic of the Ghost Moon Well, and if he could break through the fighting immortals in the Ghost Moon Well, it would be the best of both worlds, so why not do it? It's absolutely true. Qing Wen smiled when he saw Xiao Yang so surprised. If it were an ordinary person, I am afraid that Qing Wen would not be so polite, but Xiao Yang was different. The strength of this guy should still be at the Do Emperor level. To be able to completely kill the half-immortal Yu family leader with the Do Emperor level, his strength is probably very tyrannical, and Xiao Yang also said that he has been trained away from home, presumably from the ghost world. The young master of one of the big families. There are many friends and many paths, not to mention this kind of tyrannical friend. Qing Wen is naturally willing to make friends. Master, the outside world only knows the legend that Gyujing can see the beloved, but they don't know that Gyujing can break through the shackles of Emperor Do. You are like this. And as Qing Wen explained this matter one by one, tells Xiao Yang that the two subordinates are also Wei Nuo Nuo. Little brother Xiao Yang saved Qing'er. I am in charge of this matter. If something happens, I'll be responsible. Qing Wen was gentle and elegant, not angry, and smiled. Brother Clark is really well-mannered. Seeing this, Xiao Yang also laughed. How about it? Do you want to join us? Only the three factions know about the passage into the Ghost Moon Well. Qing Wen asked. 3 forces? Xiao Yang asked slightly when he heard the words. This is the territory of Li Soul Territory, but it is Li Soul Territory Ghost State Ghost King City. And these 3 forces are the 3 forces in Ghost King City. Our Qing family, the Yu family who just fought with you, and a Lei family. Qing Wen said. How about the strength of the other 2? But Xiao Yang nodded secretly when he heard the words. Obviously, he killed a semi-immortal strong man in such a place, and I am afraid that he has already been discovered. The Lei family is the weakest, and the Yu family is slightly stronger than our Qing family. The Qing paper also said one by one. And if you killed the captain of their Yu family guard, I'm afraid they will miss you. Why don't you stay with us for a while? Although the Yu family is strong and powerful, but with us here, they won't do anything out of the ordinary. After a while, Qing'er walked over gently, and Bei's lips opened lightly. Ah! And listening to this voice like the sound of nature, the 2 guards of the Qing family couldn't help but be confused. Qing'er is the eldest young lady of their Qing family. She is extremely talented, and her appearance is also very delicate, but she is extremely silent, and it is rare for their eldest young lady to take the initiative to speak for her. Brother, do you think it is? Qing'er said hurriedly when she seemed to find that the eyes of the 3 of them became surprised. Yes. I don't know what the little brother thinks. And Qing Wen's smart eyes knew his sister's thoughts in a short time, and then laughed. All right. Xiao Yang heard the words, nodded slowly, and motioned to join them. After all, he had just arrived in the ghost world, he was unfamiliar with life, and he killed a half-immortal from the Yu family, so I am afraid there must be some trouble, although Xiao Yang is not afraid of trouble. By the way, where can I buy medicinal materials around here? Xiao Yang asked after a while. Medicine. Ghost King City is not far from Ghost King Ridge. When Ghost Moon Well is over this time, little brother Xiao Yang can enter Ghost King City to buy medicinal materials. And little brother, you are very lucky. There will be a quite grand auction in Ghost King City soon. Qing Wen said. So it is. When Xiao Yang heard the words, he was relieved. Since this was the way to go, there was nothing to worry about. Little brother Xiao Yang is tired from the battle just now, so let's rest first. Tomorrow we will go to Ghost Moon Well. After Qing Wen finished speaking, she went directly to the unconscious 2 Yu family subordinates, as if she wanted to find out something. When Xiao Yang saw this, he immediately walked around and walked into a tent, closing his eyes and resting. Brother. And as Xiao Yang left, Qing'er also spoke slightly, very quietly. How? The eldest young lady in our Ghost King City who can't be chased by countless geniuses, is now actually moved by this guy? Seeing this, Qing Wen couldn't help laughing. Brother, don't talk nonsense. I always feel that he has a lot of secrets. Qing'er glanced at the tent where Xiao Yang lived, and said hesitantly. You remember, when you go out, there are multiple friends and multiple paths. But don't spy on other people's secrets. Furthermore, No matter what secrets other people have, as long as it's harmless to me, it's worth paying for. After Qing Wenwen finished speaking, he woke up the two Yu family's subordinates and immediately interrogated them. Yeah. When Qing'er heard the words, she was relieved, and she didn't think about anything else. She went back to her tent with peace of mind. Time passed quickly, and in a blink of an eye it was night. Senior Soul Eater, do you know what's going on with the sea of fighting qi that has disappeared in my body? Xiao couldn't help asking, seeing that the night was deep and the surroundings were quite quiet. If it wasn't for the problem of his own Do Qi Sea, I'm afraid he would have reached Dozian when he devoured the holy flame before. But that kind of promotion opportunity is obviously elusive. If you miss it once, you can only find another way. Now that Gyujing can break through the shackles of Dodi and enter Dozian, Xiao Yang naturally wants to solve the Do Qi Sea issue in advance. The sea of fighting qi that disappeared from your body is a little weird. Even with my experience, I've never heard of it. The Soul Eater said in a low voice. Obviously Xiao Yang's question was quite difficult to answer. Damn, then what should I do now? Xiao Yang also secretly let out a sad voice. If he didn't solve the problem of Do Qi, he probably wouldn't be able to advance to Dozian. Hey, don't worry, I suddenly remembered something. Your vanishing vindictive sea is related to the fiery beast in your body. And if you want to completely solve the problem of vindictiveness, it's not complicated either. Just lead it out. The Lord of Soul Eater seemed to have thought of something fun and smiled wickedly. How did you get it out? Xiao Yang was immediately puzzled when he heard the words. I can feel the enormous power contained in its body. I'm afraid it will be reborn when it wakes up this time. However, your promotion to Dozian is imminent. We still have to find a way to wake it up earlier. The Lord of Soul Eater also laughed. What can I do? Xiao Yang's eyes lit up when he heard the words. Suicide. Faced with Xiao Yang's doubts, the Master of Soul Eater gave his answer. What's the matter? Suicide. When Xiao Yang heard the words of the Soul Eater, a scene of shock emerged in his heart. That's right, suicide. The Master of Soul Eater smiled slowly when he saw Xiao Yang was so shocked. According to your previous situation of swallowing the holy flame, only when you are in crisis, the flaming beast will directly escape from the sea of fighting qi to save you. From this, it can be concluded that this guy can freely enter and exit your sea of fighting qi. And at that time, you were in danger because you swallowed the holy flame, and the flame beast appeared. So according to my speculation, if you are in danger, the flame beast will also show up. After all, he lives in your body, and he will definitely not let you have an accident. After the flaming beast appears, you can directly use the power of 2 holy flames to lock you to death. No matter how tyrannical the flaming beast is, you will not be able to go back. If that's the case, then you can rest assured to condense the Do core and advance to Do Immortal. The Soul Eater analyzed. It makes sense. However, I don't have a trace of Do Qi in the sea of Do Qi in my body. How can I compress the sea of Do Qi to condense the Do Qi? Xiao Yang heard this, his brows relaxed immediately, but the next moment, he became suspicious again. These secrets are probably related to flaming beasts. Wait for it to be brought out, and question it carefully. But don't worry, kid, according to what I read in a book before, your fighting spirit is a great good thing, but I can't remember the specific book, said Soul Eater. That's the only way it can be now. Xiao Yang heard the words, no longer in a deep voice, but slowly and calmly, quietly waiting for the arrival of tomorrow. The night at Gawangaling was extremely cold, and it was accompanied by the roar of the dark wind, which made people feel fearful. The next day, the vigor of the morning just dissipated, and a beautiful day began. Brother Xiao Yang, you got up early enough. As soon as Qing Wen came out of the tent, he saw Xiao Yang sitting cross-legged under a big tree not far away. Morning is the best time for all things to recover. This kind of cultivation will help improve your strength. Seeing this, Xiao Yang also smiled at each other, and then spoke slowly. How did Xiao Yang know about these things? He came out early just to familiarize himself with the terrain in the Ghost King Ridge, but before he could move, Qing Wen appeared, so he had to do it. It's getting late. Let's go. After a few more minutes, figures came out of the tents one after another, and then Qing Wen said, This girl is born with water spirit, but why do I feel that there is something not simple about this girl? That kind of ghost energy is not something that a little ghost king can have. The Soul Eater in Xiao Yang's body used Xiao Yang's body to look at Qing'er from a close distance. Naturally, the feeling was stronger, and he said slowly, Dao, but did not mention it to Xiao Yang. Let's go. The group of 5 slowly looked at each other, then headed towards the depths of Ghost King Ridge, and Xiao Yang was also looking forward to whether the Ghost Moon Well was as mysterious as it was said to be. At the same time as Xiao Yang and the others were walking, some uninvited guests appeared at the foot of the Ghost King Mountain. "Tell me, where are your masters now?" 3 men in robes appeared here with a bound figure. The one in the lead, with a very sharp breath, directly faced a bound man. Sternly, "Ha ha! Yu Chuan, you are nothing but the lackey of the Yu family. I won't tell you the position of my master, even if he dies." But the bound figure was a tough guy, still unwilling to accept soft words. "Mr. Yu, this Qing family has been tough since ancient times. Why are you talking nonsense with him? You can just kill him. According to my estimation, the young master and the eldest lady of the Qing family are probably in the Ghost Moon Well at this time. If we are dawdling like this, I am afraid that the things that the master has explained to us will not be able to be done." Among the 3 figures, standing the figure on the side of the fierce man said, "To shut up. Yu Jin Yuin, you have to remember that you were sent by the master to assist me. If you're not convinced, just go back." The stern man said viciously, "What Yu is teaching is..." Seeing that his words and deeds seemed to anger this big man, Yu Jin Yuin couldn't help but smile. This stern man is clearly Yu Quan, the current manager of the Yu family. His strength has reached the middle stage of 1-star fighting immortals. "Go." He didn't say anything, just took him. When we meet someone from the Qing family, we just have a bargaining chip in our hands. After Yu Quan finished speaking, a sinister smile slowly appeared on the corner of his mouth, obviously thinking of some sinister plan. "Right, Yu is in charge." The people from the Lei family seem to have also received the news and rushed here. At the next moment, Yu Jin spoke slightly. "Leis, Qings, Yus, all 3 are here. But the person from the Qing family who was in charge of going back and tipped off was stopped by us. Our opponent is only the Lei family. This time, Gyujing, I am afraid that the biggest winner will be us." Yu Quan muttered a few words, and then thought. "How many people are in the Lei family?" Yu Quan asked. "It seems that one person is here. The madman of the Lei family, Lei Shi." Yu Jin said. "Is it Lei Shi in the early days of 1-star fighting immortals?" Yu Quan seemed to have thought of something when he heard this. "Go. This auction is just around the corner. The powers of the respective forces in the Ghost King City are being supervised by each other. I'm afraid there will be no more people available. This Ghost Moon Well will be the tomb of their Qing Lei family." Rustling. After Yu Quan finished speaking, ghost aura surged on his body, that aura, extremely dark, with a trace of rare cyan energy. The manager's strength has actually reached the middle stage of 1-star fighting immortal. It's so terrifying. After Yu Jin and Yu Yin felt the aura, their hearts couldn't help condensing. After the 3 of them finished speaking, they knocked out the people of the Qing family who were bound, and then walked towards the depths of Ghost King Ridge. Boom boom boom. Not long after the 3 of them left, a tyrannical figure like thunder appeared directly above its original position. Quite scary. The Qing family and the Yu family are here. The tyrannical figure's keen sense of smell sniffed in the air, and then he smelled 2 familiar breaths and muttered. "Patriarch said that there are good things in Ghost Moon Well. If I can bring it back this time, I will have half of it. I just don't know what good things are in Ghost Moon Well." After Lei Shi finished speaking, the power of thunder on his body slowly extinguished, and the movement was suppressed, and he gently stepped out into the depths. At the same time, outside the Ghost Moon Well, a rather tyrannical force gathered. The Qing family, the Yu family and the Lei family, I don't know who will be the real winner. There are more than 10 days before the exam. I have been too busy recently. In the Ghost King Ridge, every cloudy moon attracts some powerful people who come here. The purpose of these powerhouses is naturally Ghost Moon Well. The Ghost Moon Well is located in the deepest part of the Ghost King Ridge. The terrain is dangerous, and there are many powerful soul beasts guarding it. Even the powerhouse with average strength does not dare to enter it rashly. However, every time on the night of the full moon in the dark moon, some rather mysterious things will appear in the Ghost Moon Well. These mysterious things are rumored to be powerful martial arts and fighting skills, and there are rumors that they are the magic elixir of life and death. The powerhouses who successfully obtained treasures from the Ghost Moon Well will all undergo transformation. Whoosh whoosh. With a series of sparse voices, several figures slowly appeared in this dense vegetation. Little brother Xiao Yang, in 3 days, it will be the night of the full moon. By then, we must defeat the guardian spirit beast no matter what, otherwise we will have no chance to approach the Ghost Moon Well, and we will just come here in vain. For a moment, among the dense vegetation, a rather empty space was directly opened up by one of the Qing family's subordinates, and several tents were slowly set up, and then Qing Wen smiled at Xiao Yang. "Oh. And the guardian spirit beast? I don't know what kind of guardian spirit beast is. How's your strength?" Xiao Yang heard the words, originally wanted to go back to the tent to rest. After all, there are still 3 days, but after hearing Qing Wen's words, he asked slightly, "After all, knowing yourself and knowing the enemy, you will be safe in 100 battles. That is a soul beast that has entered adulthood. Qingyo Tianmu." When Qing Wen heard the words, he immediately spoke, and there was some bitterness in his voice. Obviously, in the past month, the 5 members of the Qing family were blocked by this soul beast, otherwise they should have arrived near the Ghost Moon Well at this time. What? It's actually Qingyo Tianmu? When Xiao Yang heard the invitation to the document, his expression suddenly became strange. It's the Qingyo Tianmu. Is there any problem? Qing'er, who was beside her, looked at Xiao Yang so shocked and couldn't help asking. It's fine. Xiao Yang smiled slowly, the bright smile replaced the shock, and then walked back to his tent, but his heart was overturned. Qingyo Tianmu, this is a soul beast known to Xiao Yang in the Shenling continent. It is a kind of soul beast known for its strength. When entering adulthood, I am afraid that its strength can be comparable to that of the middle-stage human beings. And don't forget, this kind of soul beast is famous for its strength. If it really fights, I am afraid that the average 1-star fighting immortal mid-stage powerhouse will be invincible. The 4 members of the Qing family watched Xiao Yang act like this and went back to the tent without disturbing him, and went back to rest. In the process of cultivation, generally everyone has an attribute, but because I am an alchemist, the bright fire attribute is mixed with a trace of wood attribute. But no matter what, this wood attribute cannot be fully activated after all. And if you kill this Azure Nyo Tianmu soul beast, the soul core in its body should help me stimulate the wood attribute. The fire attribute is already an extremely powerful booster, but if it is stimulating the wood attribute, I am afraid that the attack and defense will be integrated. At that time, it will also have the power to protect itself against some powerful enemies. But Xiao Yang's matter was in his heart. He smiled slowly. Hihi, boy, don't forget the soul beast nature of Qingyo Tianmu. When Xiao Yang thought of this, the Soul Eater Master couldn't help but say, the essence of Qingyo Tianmu? Could it be Tianmu? But Xiao Yang was so little bit by Soul Eater that he couldn't help being shocked. That's right, since this soul beast has the strength to fight immortals, maybe there will be Tianmu. Qingyo Tianmu, Tianmu and Qingyo coexist, a bit like the accompanying amethyst source of the amethyst-winged Lion King in your previous plane. And if there is Tianmu, I am afraid that it can completely stimulate the wood attribute in the body. At that time, the 2 attributes of fire and wood will be enough for you to deal with some difficult enemies, said Soul Eater. I don't know what is the use of this Tianmu. And Xiao Yang heard the words and smiled slowly. The information about the Azure Bull Tianmu soul beast was known to Xiao Yang by chance when he was on the Shenling continent, but the details are not very clear. It's not your fault. The secret of the Qingyo Tianmu soul beast, let alone you, I am afraid that in this ghost world, only very few people know it. And this Tianmu is something that has been born since the birth of Qingyo Tianmu. It grows with its strength, but it is a bit like a piece of wood, said the Lord of Soul Eater. Wood. When Xiao Yang heard this, he couldn't help but be stunned. Don't underestimate this wood. During the training of Do Qi, among Do Di, it is divided into the power of life and death, and when advancing to Do Xian, the force of life and death is perfectly integrated, resulting in a more powerful force of Do Xian. The power of fighting immortals is divided according to your attributes, but it is much more tyrannical than the power of life and death. And this Tianmu, although it's just a piece of wood, but because it is associated with the Azure Ox Tianmu soul beast, the huge wood attribute power contained in it is enough to fully stimulate your wood attribute, and it's even more powerful. Soul Eater the Lord said, quite fiery. Really? Xiao Yang heard the words and seemed to know what the Soul Eater meant. Hey. Simply put, because you are an alchemist, it is very likely that you have the fire wood attribute, but after you stimulate the wood attribute, your strength is the same as that of ordinary people who cultivate the wood attribute. But if you absorb the power in the sky tree, your wood attribute is undoubtedly much stronger than others. For example, comparing the strength of ordinary people who cultivate the fire attribute to 1, and the fire attribute power of your pharmacists is twice that of their normal people. As for you, after swallowing the holy flame, the fire attribute power has reached 6 times or even more. GAO, if light is the power of fire attribute, no one at the same level will be your opponent. And this Tianmu is similar to your holy flame. The Soul Eater explained slowly. So it is. After listening to the master of Soul Eater, he suddenly smiled, but the corners of his mouth were laughing. After swallowing the holy flame, Xiao Yang, among the powerhouses of the same level who also cultivated the fire attribute, could almost walk sideways. It's not a problem to have a leapfrog battle. Leaping. This is no child's play. If it is above the Doqi continent, the battle of the Do Emperor and Do Wang level is also commonplace, but in this new world, the gap between the Do Emperor and the strong can be determined by a small level, not to mention the more advanced order. The stronger the strength, the more difficult it will be to fight. However, if relying on the tyranny of the firewood attribute, Xiao Yang still has this confidence. For now, let's look forward to it. I hope this Azure Ox Tianmu spirit beast is really guarding Tianmu, otherwise it will be a waste of our time. Xiao's eyes became deep, and then he looked into the distance. In 3 days, 2 days passed in a blink of an eye. In the past 2 days, in the originally quiet Ghost King Ridge, many strong people emerged. Obviously, their purpose was to come for the Ghost Moon Well. Hey, have you heard of it? It is said that the members of the 3 Qingyu and Lei families in the Ghost King city have arrived, and there is a good show to watch. Some idle figures on the back of a rock couldn't help but discuss. The Lei family is the weakest, and although the Qing family is stronger than the Lei family, the Qing family is the Yu family's deadly rival. It seems that this time Gyujing has a good show. Some figures on the back of the rock said. Your news is out of date. According to the information I got, this time, the Qing family sent their young master and eldest young lady to come to Gyujing. I'm afraid they want to use Gyujing's mystery to break through Dodi. But how could the people of the Yu family let them get their wish? The Yu family directly sent Yu Quan, the steward of the Yu family, to stop it. I'm afraid this time, it will be quite exciting. Dozens of figures spoke back and forth. Little brother Xiao Yang, are you up yet? And where the Qing family was in charge of the camp, Qing Wen stood outside the tent quite politely and asked. Brother Qing, early. Xiao Wenyang came out to greet him. Let's go. Tomorrow morning will be a rare full moon night. Today, we must pass the level of Qingyo Tianmu. After a while, Qing Wen said. Let's go then. Xiao Yang also glanced around and said immediately after hearing this. That's right, young master. It's been a few days, and the guards who are in charge of going back to deliver the news haven't heard anything yet. This. One of the 2 guards couldn't help asking. It should be something went wrong on the way. Let's go first. After Qing Wen said that, she and Qing'er prepared to walk. What about the 2 subordinates of the Yu family? The next moment, the 2 subordinates of the Qing family were asking. Facing this question, Qing Wenwen's smile slowly showed a rather serious expression, and then he gestured directly at his throat. En. Seeing this, the 2 Qing family guards looked at each other, and then walked towards the back of the tent. Obviously, there is Miss Qing'er here, which is not suitable for 2 bloody. Let's go, little brother Xiao Yang. After finishing all this, Qing Wen sent an invitation. Don't rush to leave, I think we might have to delay a little time here. Xiao Yang smiled slowly when he heard the words, and his eyes were also fixed on the tent where the 2 Qing force guards just went. Do you have anything else to do? Qing'er stuck her head slightly and said something. Resolve some pests. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, his figure suddenly disappeared, and then behind the tent, a wind sounded. Are you all right? After defeating the terrorist attack with one blow, Xiao Yang asked the 2 guards of the Qing family. No. It's okay. Thank you Xiao Shaoxia. When the 2 Qing family guards saw this, they couldn't help but cast grateful glances at Xiao Yang. The 2 subordinates of the Yu family have been knocked unconscious and placed behind the tent. The 2 of them came, naturally wanting to kill him, but who thought that just when they came here, a silent attack suddenly attacked the 2 of them. If Xiao Yang hadn't appeared in time, they would have been seriously injured if they didn't die. Haha, when did the Qing family accept such a keenly perceptive powerhouse? Seeing that his attack failed, he did not complete the damage, and a voice with a little surprise slowly came out from the air. Yu family Yuchuan? Qing Wen and Qing'er just saw Xiao Yang's figure, and immediately knew that something was wrong, but after seeing the figure of the man wearing the feather robe in the sky, their faces became ugly. Stand up. The young master and the eldest lady of the Qing family. I haven't seen you for a long time. The eldest lady is really getting better and better as she grows. Yu Quan's figure just appeared, and he immediately smiled at Qing'er. Although there was no ordinary person's frivolity in the smile, it was full of killing intent. Xiao Yang, hurry up, this guy is a true fighting immortal powerhouse, and he is not on the same level as the half-hearted half-immortal before. Seeing Yu Quan appearing, Qing's willow brows slanted and said to Xiao, there was urgency in the voice. A real fighting immortal. And Xiao Yang couldn't help muttering as he looked at Yu Quan, who was slowly descending. This guy is really strong. It doesn't look like he has just been promoted to Do Xian. But I just swallowed the holy flame and merged the power of 2 holy flames. I also want to try my limit. And Xiao Yang, feeling the invisible pressure emanating from Yu Quan's body, not only did he not have any fear, but he even had a hint of joy. The previous half-immortal strength was simply not enough to practice on his own, so Xiao Yang didn't know where his limits were at this moment. However, according to Xiao Yang's guess, although he is only at the peak of Do Di, with the power of the 2 holy flames, it is not a problem to deal with some powerhouses in the early stage of 1-star Do Xian, and even some middle-stage powerhouses in Do Xian are not at all. Fear. Nigh he had dealt with the strength of the Banxian before, and the opponent died before he could fight, which made Xiao Yang quite depressed. Boy, these 2 are members of my Yu family, hand them over. Yu Quan couldn't help saying, looking at the 2 figures who were unconscious on the ground. Because even if he is strong enough to be in the middle stage of 1-star Do Xian, when facing this kid whose strength is only at the peak of Do Di, there will be an aura of fear. This is an unprecedented thing, so Yu Quan did not show himself. Domineering attitude. These 2 are vainly trying to belittle our elder sister Qing. As a bodyguard, I should naturally arrest them. As for the fate of these 2, how to execute them is entirely up to our elder sister. But if you really want to go back, it's not impossible. Xiao Yang smiled slowly. 3 medicinal pills of the 3rd rank of the Emperor. Xiao Yang stretched out 3 fingers, then looked at Yu Quan with a smile on his face and said, Boy, it looks like you haven't died before. This time, let me teach you how to respect the strong. When Yu Quan heard the words, he was furious, and a terrifying blue-colored fighting spirit burst out from his body, surrounding the entire venue. Whoosh whoosh. The blue-colored Do Qi contained terrifying power, which directly caused Xiao Yang's body to vibrate the force of life and death slightly. Is the power of the wind attribute fighting immortal? However, this is the best way. After Xiao Yang felt Yu Quan's attributes, he laughed and prepared to fight. After all, the provocation just now was only to force Yu Quan to take action. You and Xiao Yang go first, and I will take care of the rest. Let's go. Seeing Yu Quan's fighting spirit, Qing Wen frowned, jumped directly into the battle circle, pulled Xiao Yang's figure away, and said something softly. Little brother Xiao Yang, take good care of my little sister for me. After Qing Wen finished speaking, she looked at the young Yu Quan with a frozen expression. You go out, this guy, I can handle it. And Xiao Yang saw Qing Wen's actions, no doubt his heart warmed, but a force of life and death directly sent him out of the battle circle. After all, although Qing Wen has a very real temperament, but you can't ruin your own good. What? Qing Wen couldn't help roaring as he felt Xiao Yang slowly pushing his figure out. Qing Wen knew that Xiao Yang's strength was at the pinnacle of Do Di. Although he had killed the Banxian-level leader of the Yu family before, Banxian and Doxian were far behind. Brother. Qinjeryu stretched out her hand and supported Qing Wen's figure, and then said with a frown. Hey, this guy, I hope he's not a reckless person. Seeing Xiao Yang's actions, Qing Wen undoubtedly murmured, but if something happened to Xiao Yang, he would definitely not sit idly by. The power of life and death, the pinnacle of Emperor Do. I'm curious how you killed our half-immortal level leader of the Yu family. Seeing Xiao Yang sending Qing Wen away, only himself and Xiao Yang were left in the battle circle, Yu Quan said with a smile. Don't you know if you try it? At this time, Xiao Yang exuded a blacken of life and death, and also smiled at Yu Quan. It seems that you still don't understand the power of Do Xian strong. Alright, today I'll let you know what a fighting immortal powerhouse is. Yu Quan smiled, his smile full of killing intent. The power of fighting immortals, the Wind Eagle bundle. The next moment, Yu Quan's figure suddenly lifted into the sky, and his body flashed with a blue fighting spirit. The blue-colored Do Qi was unusual, and it even gave Xiao Yang a very heavy suppression. It could be seen that the force of fighting immortals was indeed much more powerful than the force of life and death. And as Yuchuan's voice just fell, in the sky, 100-jong giant eagle condensed from Cyan Do Qi slowly came out. The giant eagle just appeared, and his eyes were fixed on Xiao Yang. On his body, there was no doubt that the fierce aura was on display. The power of fighting immortals with the wind attribute, although the destructive power is not as strong as my fire attribute, but under enough wind, it is enough to kill with one blow. Xiao Yang looked at the blue giant eagle in front of him, and muttered slightly. Kill me. As if feeling the huge aura emanating from the giant eagle beside him, Yu Quan smiled slightly, and issued a vicious order directly. Crash. Yu Quan's voice just fell, when the giant tiger's azure energy wings fluttered, and the speed was extremely high, and it flew towards Xiao Yang. The speed was so fast that it caused some phantoms to appear in the line of sight. Seventh layer breaking the sky. Xiao Yang looked at this tyrannical attack and did not dare to neglect it. He took off the ancient ruler of eternal fire behind him instantly. The power of flame in his body burned in an instant, and immediately wrapped the ancient ruler of eternal fire, 700 feet in size. The energy ruler Mang madly attacked the energy giant eagle. Ha ha ha. It's useless. The giant eagle, transformed by the power of Dozian, can instantly tear apart all your attacks. Boy, you should pay the price for your recklessness. Yu Quan couldn't help roaring when he saw Xiao Yang's actions. Yu Quan was clearly aware of the tyranny of the Cyan giant eagle. Xiao Yang's attack seemed tyrannical, but under the giant eagle with the power of fighting immortals, it was tantamount to hitting a stone with an egg. The Cyan giant eagle's claws suddenly opened, and then it directly caught Xiao Yang's 7 claws one after another, and then crushed it with one blow. The power of fighting immortals is indeed tyrannical. Xiao Yang was not too panicked when he saw this scene. After all, the attack just now only used his fire attribute and did not use the power of holy flame. However, the mere giant eagle just wants to get me, it's too easy. The next moment, Xiao Yang roared as he watched the Cyan giant eagle ripped his 7 feet apart. Tear him apart for me. But Yu Quan shouted loudly when he saw Xiao Yang's strange smile. Brother. When Qing below saw this scene, there were other emotions flashing in her beautiful eyes. Obviously, even if she had only one relationship with Xiao Yang, she saved her after all. It's human nature. I know. At this time, Qing Wen's face was extremely ugly, and the power of life and death in his body soared. Obviously some powerful attack was brewing. Die. Looking at Xiao Yang, who seemed to give up his resistance, Yu Quan didn't care and said slowly. After all, Xiao Yang is only a guard of the Qing family. Although his strength is a little perverted, but with his own status, they still dare not do anything to kill some of the Qing family's scoundrels. Really? And Xiao Yang watched as the blue giant eagle's front claws shrank suddenly, grabbed it towards his forehead, and tried to kill him with one blow, but smiled slowly. As soon as the voice fell, the ancient ruler of eternal fire on the palm suddenly became bright, and an inexplicable and powerful force slowly emerged. Move the sky ruler, move it for me. And looking at the Cyan giant eagle that was close at hand, Xiao Yang's palm suddenly flashed a strange light, and instantly completely enveloped the Cyan giant eagle. Fart. With a sound, the figure of the Cyan giant eagle was instantly devoured by Xiao Yang's strange light. Bastard. Upon realizing this scene, even Yu Quan couldn't help but curse. Just now, the Cyan giant eagle could clearly tear down Xiao Yang directly, but why did it disappear inexplicably? Don't look for it, since you want to. Then I'll give it back to you. Looking at Yu Quan's rather surprised expression, the corners of his mouth obviously moved slightly, and then the space in front of him suddenly wriggled slightly. The next moment, a huge creature wrapped in blue-yellow flames slowly stepped out of that pupil. How is that possible? And seeing this scene, Yu Quan, who has always been arrogant, couldn't help shrinking his pupils tightly, because with his perception, he knew that the Cyan giant eagle was no longer his thing. What's more, the pupils of the Cyan giant eagle were filled with an invisible flame force, and even the outermost blue-yellow flames made Yu Quan feel a wave of death. Boom, boom, boom. The Cyan giant eagle suddenly raised its arms to the sky, and then the blue-yellow flames all over its body jumped like a elf. Crash. After doing this, regardless of whether 3 or 7 are 1, he rushed towards Yu Quan's position frantically. Damn it. When Yu Quan saw this, his face changed greatly, and he didn't dare to stay any longer. The dazzling azure power of fighting immortals flickered on his body, and he was ready to escape. Little bastards, I'll let you bounce around for a while. When you arrive at Ghost Moon Well, you will naturally look good. And Yu Quan watched the Cyan giant eagle attacking him, and after looking at Qing Wen below, he seemed to be brewing some powerful attack, and immediately backed away. Want to go? Where are you running? And Xiao Yang heard this, and immediately shouted. The flame giant eagle attacked Yu Quan directly. Shabu shabu. And Yu Quan looked at this scene, his figure flickered directly, and the next moment he escaped from here. Boom boom boom. The giant flame eagle flew into the air, and then exploded directly in mid-air. The gorgeous flames made the temperature of Ghost King Ridge a little higher. Damn, the wind attribute is really necessary to escape. Seeing Yu Quan, who was running so fast and fled directly from here, Xiao Yan couldn't help but curse it secretly. This video will end here.